everybody out there in the paranormal world that's following us here at S.P.I.R.I.T. I'm Melissa, the group leader and medium for the group, and we are in a beautiful home in the greater Sacramento area today to just see if we can get some validation for a really lovely family. We have the lady of the house is the one kind of going to take us on the tour today and be present for the investigation. We're just trying to see if some of their feelings are founded, what may or may not be going on, and apparently they have some plans to do some renovation in the near future, which, as we know, can turn up the dial just a hair with activity. If there already is some pre-existing activity, whether it's active or if it's residual energy, renovations are known to make it a little extra special. So we'd like to not only validate some things, maybe debunk where we can, but also empower our client on the proper methods of spiritual maintenance of her space, so she can feel good and comfortable with blessing the house on a regular basis when it's necessary. If things happen that key up activity, something new comes in or whatever, she can feel like, you know what, I got this. This is good. I know how to do this. S.P.I.R.I.T came in and they showed me how to handle this. So then she can do the follow-up maintenance whenever it's needed. Sometimes that's true for a household, whether you're doing renovation or if you have more than one sensitive in the home, or if the land has a history that just is so rich that it just percolates up once in a while. Whatever the case may be, you want to be able to turn the volume down spiritually in a space as needed. Even if it's your familial spirits, your loved ones that come in and check up on you and they're just saying, hey, how's it going, what's going on? If they're being a little louder than they need to be once in a while, you want to feel good about just saying, hey, I love you, but, set that boundary of how about we don't make noises, or how about we don't wake us up, or how about we don't, really establish those boundaries for ourselves and for the other side so harmony can be in the home. And what to me seems like a really beautiful space can just simply be enjoyed. Doesn't mean that we all can be all paranormal free. We come in and we wave a wand. Well, no, that's not how it works. We not only reset the energy of the space so you have kind of a blank slate and then hopefully don't have any negative activity ever, but we also teach you how to do a little maintenance if it's necessary. Again, if somebody in the home has kind of a perception or a sense to the other side. Some of the things that I was initially feeling, a sense of anxiety, like severe anxiety in the space. And not just, okay, nervousness, okay, hey, the spirit team's out here, whatever. There's in the texture of the space, there's severe anxiety, like almost overwhelming. A little PTSD, a little, that kind of thing. It's making me feel very on edge, ungrounded. But I don't think it's my feelings. I think it's coming from something else, whether it's previous people that were here, who lived here, or if it's current occupants. That I'm not sure. I'll have to kind of check each room, but it just feels anxious. I do keep seeing an older gentleman checking the door to make sure it's locked, make sure it's secure. He has this obsession with making sure the perimeter is secure. So this could be a residual activity or just a really protective activity, like, oh, just make sure everyone's safe, make sure the windows, make sure the door, because I keep seeing him clicking the door, like the little thing to make sure that it's secure. There's this darling older woman of probably, 5'3"-ish, give or take, kind of shorter hair, pulled up a little bit, or maybe a little curls, just a little bit in the back. She is just adorable. She's just like, oh, honey, you just stop messing with things, stop pestering with things. And she's in the kitchen a lot. I feel like she probably moves things in there. That might make some noises. She doesn't quite mean to do that, but she's like, oh, I'm just making dinner. She doesn't quite get it. Yeah, whatever. She's having a good time. So I'd like to walk the space because I do feel like there's this, it's almost like a river of energy, and it's coming from something. I'm just not sure what. Again, it could be that residual haunt type of energy. There's somebody that might be really much more tuned in than they're admitting to the other side. So gotta kind of maybe suss that out a little bit. But I think we can give our clients some peace of mind and obviously the tools to manage the energy. That is the most important factor, is how do you go forward in your space. So we will figure it out and get some answers and start our walkthrough momentarily.
Somebody in the hallway.
Funniest thing, I saw something scurry down the hallway, but like...
Ooh, blur.
I think it was an animal, but not a real, like not a living animal, but like something like ran down the hallway. I'm like, shit was that? It was adorable, but I was not prepared. I was like, huh?
What the heck?
Wow, what a fun place you've got here.
It's awesome.
I don't know what's residual, what's active, but like, I just saw something like trot down the hall. Like,
was it a person or an animal?
This was an animal.
Okay.
This was clearly an animal just trotting down the hallway. So
that's awesome.
If that sense
I
memory,
haven't even started the walkthrough yet.
I literally just turned to look and I'm like, shake your little furry butt. I'm like that's cute. So I guess
Animal twerking.
Huh?
Nothing. I said animal twerking.
So yeah, a little bit. So we can I guess start the walkthrough without giving too much away. Obviously, some of the things I said in the intro, this resonated to you, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. You can tell me whatever you want.
Yeah. So the first thing you picked up was anxiety, and I believe you're picking up on my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She moved in with us 2 years ago, and that's immediate. PTSD everything. So you immediately picked up on her.
Oh.
The door, we hear the door shutting all the time.
Oh.
So when you talked about an older gentleman constantly looking at it,
Okay.
I don't know if
Maybe, yeah.
maybe I don't know.
He's really concerned about making it shut. He just really wants to be secure. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We hear the door.
Okay.
There's been a time where my husband and daughter were like way out in the front yard, and I thought somebody had come in because I had just walked down the hallway and I heard the door shut. That they were not here. Like, and that kind of happens now and then, even late at night.
If he does it like a lot, that would make sense that this would, even if it is residual, he may not even realize he's bothering anybody by doing it because he's just repeating a pattern. But he really is concerned about making sure it's secure. So.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate the security.
Well, hey, okay, that's helpful. And I don't know, do you ever get any other auditory phenomena in the house?
So
Because I do hear other clattering. I hear something running down there. I hear stuff in there.
you know, we don't hear too much in there. The hallway tends to be busy.
Okay, because I keep being drawn this direction, so I probably will start the walkthrough. I'll end there. The lady is a little more polite, so she might be better at modulating her.
So that's what's being remodeled. So
Oh, new kitchen?
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting. We'll talk to that energy and make sure she understands that, hey, we're making some good changes. As long as she's got a place to tinker, I don't think
If she wants to clean, that's fine.
But you may notice an uptick of her energy while you do that. But just kind of let her know.
Okay.
You know, because she almost seems like either attached to somewhere near the land or maybe even this house previously, something like that. You know, she's got an emotional attachment. Okay. So we'll figure her out. Well, let's wander a little bit.
Sure.
See what we... Oh. Yeah, that is horrifying. Oh, bruh. Why do you do this?
If you didn't know it was there, you know.
Jesus Christ on a motorbike.
That's awesome.
I did warn you.
Oh, that's just great.
Well, I'm going to have to take a picture of it
Well,
just because.
I love it.
I don't.
Oh, you're not the horror
I'm
movie
gonna
fan.
I'm going to go on
Oh, you got
record.
the Gremlin guy, too.
I'm going to go on record and say I don't like this at all.
Okay.
But,
awesome.
you know, if it makes them happy, it makes them happy.
All right.
I'm not gonna judge. It just Jesus Christ. I would not leave this door open when I walk.
We've grown used to them.
I guess you'd have to. This space, honestly, besides the fact that it's dedicated to, like, you know, movies, TV, it's very much that an energy of is your husband a little OCD?
A little bit, yeah. A lot of it.
Because I also feel like people in his space is very, like, it's a faux pas. My time, my space, this is how, when it's done, this is when I do my things, you know. And it's not that it's a negative thing, it's just who he is. He likes stuff done a certain way at a certain time. He likes his alone and quiet time to sort of replenish. I think that sense of control may come from the fact that, and his obsession with horror, he might be a little more in tune than he would want to admit. I think he boxes it off. But man, if he opened it up, whoo. So yeah, he would definitely see some things and feel some things. I think that they leak into his dreams. I think his dreams are probably active. But I think he's definitely probably pretty good sensitive, and this is all to control it. This is all to control the uncontrollable.
Or even channel it.
Yeah, this is a coping mechanism for his sensitivity to energy.
It's fascinating.
Isn't it?
It is.
That is
It kind of
fascinating.
Well, I'm done with the creepy. The creepy
Oh,
crap.
Sopranos fan too.
I love the purple. Ooh. Really just feel like I'm coming out of my skin. The space isn't that way. It's just oh man. A lot of trauma. Okay. Ground a little, just ground. Listen to what they are telling you. What? That's an interesting set of imagery. Why would you show me that? There's another older female that comes with this person. I don't know that they actually knew this person, though, like, as far as, like, they either died when they were young or before they were born. But this older, sassy woman, bossy, little gal, a lot of fire. She really tries to watch out for her. What is this? Sounds like a sassy, like, New York Italian type of vibe, or something like that. Like I don't know. Or she's got a lot of piss and vinegar in her, and she's very protective of the energy of the space, because somebody said something about there. I mean, I'm seeing some physical trauma. I'm seeing physical trauma being done to a person. Somebody's spun out. They're spun out, and somebody's just popping them. There's this record. I'm not sure if it's coming from the old lady or her. I can't quite delineate the two. I'm gonna touch it. Yeah, that's what I thought. There is a brilliance, beautiful creative brilliance in this soul. Just amazing ability that is so close to being tapped. So smart and creative. I would suggest that you tell her it's time to bloom. It is time to bloom. She's ready to just bloom, but there's so much fear in her way of her blooming. Like, when I try, I get smashed down. But that's not true anymore. A lot of amazing potential. And the dreams are a thing. Some of them are not so good. Some of them are nightmares, quite frankly. But every once in a while, there's a message from the protecting souls that gets dropped in there, but they get lost in the nightmares sometimes. A lot of almost like night terror type of feeling. Like, yeah. Overall, really amazing energy, though. Like, the amount of potential here is, it feels really like amazing and good. So I feel the potential for hope. A lot of interesting sense memory. Very weird. Very weird. Strange things. I keep getting headaches in here. That's what I'm doing. It's telling me headache. Sharp pain. Right in the third eye. Oh. Yeah, just a lot of hip pain. I don't know what that's all about. There's another older couple that keeps following everywhere I go. This one's an active couple. These people are active. Somewhere in maybe the 30s and 40s. They were alive in the 1930s, 1940s. Moderate stature. The woman is very smart. Brunette. Very much a team with the male. They worked very hard together to build a life and to create something for their family and for their future generations. They knew what it was like to do without. I see a lot of, making food out of whatever you got. Figure it out. But the gentleman is showing me how excited he was when the first TVs came out. And he was like, look at this. He's really jazzed about TV. So I would get the impression that he would probably sit with anybody who's watching TV because it's just like, now we got more stations. So he seems really jazzed about TV. He's a brilliant guy. He's a little taller, strong shoulders. A little something in the chest going on with him. The one gal that is associated with him, she her throat feels a little constricted for something. I'm not sure what it is.
First TV's would have been 53, 54.
Oh, but that's pretty when it's lit up.
Done nightly.
That looks very cute. More with the headaches. Feeling some back pain. My back feels uncomfortable, strained, real tight. It's almost like you'd hear something walking around and then like pops out of a dead sleep. Yeah, like, was that something? Maybe it was nothing. It's fine. Oh, it's an animal. It's no big deal. A lot of the excusing things away. A lot of devotion, dedication, passion, intensity. Something's definitely going on energetically, though. The abilities of just. Yeah, it's a lot of clatter, a lot of just clatter and movement. Wait, there's more. Ooh, the ear ringing in here is so loud.
It is very.
There's got to be this woman, this other gal that I think was associated with the property. Yeah, just let her know there's going to be some changes. There's going to be some positive updates in the space, and that she's welcome to be part of that. Well, like I see her like wiping down the counter. She's like, I always thought we could use just a little more, like.
She has her own design
Like
ideas.
she's got ideas. She's like, yeah, we could use a few little upgrades, and that would be nice. And like, she's very, very polite. And I don't even know, honestly, how deeply active she is. She might just sort of waft in and waft out. I don't know that she's here constantly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel that she's here every day.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's sort of a little ebb and flow with her. You got a range hood. You've got an incinerator. Wow. You really are doing the whole thing. I like that you have little stations and areas to go sit outside.
Yeah.
Because I think that is really important for all of you. I think each one of you in the family needs to spend a little time away from like a cell phone and more involved in nature. Like unplug for a second, plug your feet out there. I think that is paramount for each of your kind of balancing and being in a more zen state. I think that that's kind of integral. To be fair, I think that that's something you guys are gonna need to almost remind yourselves of. Go outside. Obviously not when it's 100.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today. But on the days that it's pleasant,
Right.
just getting like you have that beautiful little hammock under the the trees there. That is like Zen 101, So I think that's a kind of a deal. I would strongly encourage more of that.
More zen.
Yeah. Unless
I agree.
unless of all the other nonsense that we put ourselves through. Are you going to redo the countertops?
Yeah.
Because she has ideas.
She likes green or gray granite.
I was going to say that it looked like sparkly to me. Like it had like a little underflake
There's a
type
little
of.
sparkle in it.
Yeah. So I think that'll work.
Okay, good.
That'll be on the approved list.
Yeah.
Let's hope so. Yeah, no, it's the energy overall feels positive.
Yeah,
I feel like you're really doing a lot of good things that bring a lot of love and peace, and you guys are trying to work as a team to keep that love and that peace going and that support. I think that all the pieces of the puzzle are there. You have a couple of residual energies that seem to be kind of just knocking around, totally unaware that there's anybody here. So the residual ones are just like like I said, they're record players. You're not going to be, a good smudge will calm them down, but that history, that memory of that routine may never die off. A couple of the active souls, since some of them I feel may be attached to you guys as helpers, they're probably going to be here. This little gal, she may be attached to the property along with one of the other gentlemen. So they may just kind of move on over time. But I don't think they mean you any harm. I don't think they're here all the time, and I don't think they mean you any harm, or they're not malicious. Right. There's no scratching, biting, attacking, any of that. Some of the nightmares and those kind of things, that's not related to the paranormal. That's a whole other thing going on. But it feels like a really just, I don't know, kind of like you guys are doing the right things. You're putting all the little pieces of the puzzle in, but you also didn't know some of the extra tools that are available to you. And like you were saying earlier, your husband didn't really want you to bless the space without knowing how to do it. So we can help with that.
Great.
We can facilitate that. Maybe we can do some meter readings on some of the hot spots, but do you think maybe we could sit a minute and just do a quick punch list of what made sense to you, and then validate whatever made sense, and then we'll hit a couple of these areas just to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of go from there. So we did a little bit of a walkthrough in your space, checked out room to room, felt the vibes, felt some things. Obviously, there was, some stuff you might be able to validate, some stuff maybe you're not sure about. All of that's fine. But did anything make sense to you, what we were feeling?
Yeah, so in my daughter's room, you definitely tapped into her energy,
Okay.
and you hit on her nightmares and her I would also define them as night terrors,
Okay.
and she's probably afraid to always tell us what she feels and share that with us. So that makes a lot of sense, and I too believe she's ready to bloom, and so we will continue to
just water her as a little
Yeah.
flower,
get her going there.
Yeah.
In the spare bedroom, the older couple you talked about the TV, I can't figure out who that would be, so I don't know.
It could be very deeply ancestral too.
Yeah,
Could be for you, could be for your husband.
it's probably I thought it might be my grandparents, but then you said he was tall and like this, and that is not my grandparents. And then you, in our primary bedroom, you hit on back pain, and I currently have a pinched nerve in my back.
Oh my God.
So you hit
I'm
on
so
that.
sorry.
And then you've also hit on headaches and migraines, or headaches. That's my husband.
Oh.
He's got constant migraines and a lot of pain, and I think
I know how that feels.
yeah. I think you've also touched on his OCD, his need for order, and then he's a non-believer, but also obsessed with the paranormal. So
there's a reason for
yeah.
that.
So that I think if anything that validates everything that I was thinking
Yeah,
about him.
absolutely. It seems like you've got a lot of energy rolling through the space. I mean, and a lot of it's positive energy. I mean, but you're dealing with, trying to help your daughter just become who she needs to be and give her a lot of love and a lot of support. So there's that. Your husband's got his own things he's got going on. And then you've got your own things. And, and you're a little more receptive to energy as well. So you've got these varying levels of being kind of open to the other side. Or totally closed off, but really gifted and not, in touch with it. And that can create a lot of flux in a space. And then, being kind of locked down at home for the last, 15, 16 months, that has made people notice what was going on in their home probably the whole time. But then they're like, wait, now I'm home. Now I see or feel or sense or hear all this stuff. Well, what is this?
Right.
Have I lost my mind? Well, no. You're just now forced to see it.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not bad. It's just, there's a little busyness, for sure. And there's so many different layers of these different older people. It's even possible that the gentleman constantly checking the door, that could be one of yours, just trying to protect you. Having this overbearing, I just want to check us, and just wanting to keep you safe. And I think that's really comforting.
Right.
But Yeah, there's a lot of love in this space. There's a lot of souls in this space, but I think the ones that are either related to you or related to your husband, they really do mean well.
Right. And I think the reason I called you guys was there was just incident for a week, and it felt really negative.
Mm.
But since then, it's definitely just subsided to regular,
Just run of the mill.
run-of-the-mill occurrences.
Mhm.
So I really appreciate just knowing, like, okay, there's that negative energy isn't necessarily here. Just
Yeah, and that could have been, you know, a temporary thing because you guys were having something that was upsetting you, and then you launch your own energy into the space, and it creates that negative wave force for a temporary time, but then it starts to break apart and dissipate. And then you're just left with your regular nice dead people.
which is fine. I'll take them.
Yeah,
As long as they're polite.
and some of them could be residual. The blessing overall will try to get everyone to just play by the rules, to have it a little calmer, a little quieter. Like I said earlier, you know, you're going to be paranormal free. Probably not because, you know, you all got a little bit of the feeling towards the other side, so there's going to be a little bit of that something will waft in and then waft out. But it doesn't have to be at a volume like 100,
Right.
you know. You could have a little background blurb going on. It doesn't have to be hectic. Because the space feels really nice and really happy. Yeah, I think that you're doing a lot of the right things to achieve that peace, you know, in your space. I can see how it would be a little bit
The
overwhelming.
energy here is
for
so
sure.
refreshing in
Yeah.
comparison to some other places. we've been.
Yeah, this is much happier
It's
than a lot
just
of places
lovely.
we've been in. For sure. But I can see how it would be unsettling.
Yes, definitely.
Because the not knowing is, I think, the worst.
Right.
So, do you have any other questions or anything before we start the meter walkthrough?
I don't think. Now I'm just frustrated with my husband. If he has more intuition and he's been squashing I'm hearing things.
Well, he probably doesn't even know he has it.
Right.
He's probably buried it so deep, you know, what is it, deeper than Al Capone's body or whatever. You know, he probably has no idea.
Right.
And he will say, nah, that's bullcrap. That's cockamamie. That's not going to be in his conscious frame of mind. It's so deeply latent.
Right.
I don't think you could ever get it out of him unless he actually actively wanted to.
Right.
And it would probably take a miracle for him to want to because he likes his control.
Yeah.
And being able to feel things, in a way, takes away from that control he likes.
Yeah.
So,
That's okay.
Just let him be him, you know. But at the same time, he needs to let you be you
Right.
and not poo-poo on when you feel or hear something, or if you want to smudge the space.
Yeah.
He kind of does need to let you explore that in a safe and healthy way.
Right.
You know, with support from people like us.
Great.
You know, so if you can respect his wanting to be closed off, he needs to respect the opposite.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then
Well-
you can collect horror stuff.
Yeah, and then he can
Yeah,
he has his collection.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants in there.
I've never seen
Oh,
somebody.
that
I've
is
never seen
just-
so many masks before.
That was scary.
Yeah.
Do you take that big thing out on the porch for Halloween, or?
So there was one time we lived in in East Sacramento, and so where all the trick-or-treaters
Oh, yeah.
were.
Okay.
He's too heavy to move, but we did put Chucky in the window
Oh.
with the lighting, and everybody loved it. The kids
Oh,
freaked out.
They just all.
Yeah.
It was fun.
No, that's terrible. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
well.
we don't get trick-or-treaters.
Well, let's break out some meters and see if we can validate a couple areas. If any of these energies want to interact, they can. Great. If they don't want to, or if they're residual and can't, then that's fine too.
Okay.
But it's good to give them an opportunity and just to see if there's any particular areas that have a higher energy that maybe you would notice more. Like I definitely want to run some stuff by the front door since you have that repeat activity. Maybe put the laser grid by it. Maybe take some meters and kind of see if there's any residual EMF that's making it, you know, self-known there. So
Okay.
we'll see.